Hey folks, it's Prof. Malat coming at you with another weekly overview. This week we are in week 8. It's the week we begin our research unit. In the past, I've had students choose their own topics, but this time around, I'm asking you to consider this following question as the quote-unquote topic for your research as a class. And that question is, does technology make us happy? The research argument essay number 3, requires you to conduct some research, compare and contrast source material, and add your voice to the scholarly conversation that's surrounding the answer to the question above. However, the research argument essay is a little bit longer than ones that you've written in the past. It is 4 to 6 pages, 1,000 to 1,500 words, and it requires some synthesis of multiple texts, at least 4 sources, from a pre-selected list. So you won't be on your own for finding a topic that you want to research. I apologize for that, but hopefully in English 1001, you will have the opportunity to choose your own research topic. And you won't be on your own as far as where to look for sources. I have provided a pre-selected list of sources that I feel are more or less acceptable to help you answer the question, does technology make us happy? Please keep in mind that I have also recorded a research unit overview video, and it's very important that you watch that. It's about 10 minutes long, just so you understand what we are going for in this final research paper. So in the following weeks, we're going to be learning how to summarize arguments, how to summarize and evaluate sources, how to create a works cited list, and how to use MLA in text citations. These might all be things that you did in high school. If you have been in high school more recently, then you might be familiar with that. If it's been a few years or many years since you've gone to high school, perhaps you don't even remember writing any kind of a research essay, and that's fine. I am going to take you by the hand and lead you on this research journey. So these are all the steps that you need to take when you're approaching a research project. I've broken it down into some smaller, simpler steps so you understand what's involved when it comes to successfully completing a research project. The objectives for this week are to understand research as inquiry-based, to determine a strategy for researching the answer to your question, to summarize an argument, and to discuss any barriers when approaching a long writing project. So when I say research is inquiry-based, that essentially just means that you have a burning question that needs to be answered. In this case, I've already provided the question for you. The question being, does technology make us happy? That is the inquiry, right? To inquire is to ask questions. And that is the first step in all research. You ask a question that needs to be answered, and then you go out and you seek the answer, right? You find the evidence. So that is what we're going after in this research unit. The readings for the week. Again, we have a grammar topic. This week it's dealing with subject and verb agreement. The reading here is from Grammarly. Let's take a look at that. It's taking a while to open up. I apologize for that. Do, 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 do. Well, maybe that'll come up, but instead of wasting your time waiting for that to load, the other readings that you have are from the Writers Project, Research and Argument, and What Do They Mean? That you can find on pages 120 to 127 in the PDF. Then I have 2 files. Now, these 2 files, I want you to read and kind of wrap your mind around what these people are arguing. The first one is by Maria Konnikova, How Facebook Makes Us Unhappy. And the second one is an article by Tomoko Yokoi, Pursuing Happiness in a Digital World. These are the first two of 4 required readings. I see here that the Grammarly page is not coming up. It might be something with my computer, but if you have a problem with this link opening, please let me know and I will make sure to get it fixed. Back to these 2 readings. These are the first 2 of 4 required readings. I'm going to have you read all 4 of the articles, and then you'll choose one that you enjoyed the most or agree the most with, or maybe you have some contentions with it and say, oh my gosh, this person is completely wrong. I want to argue them, whatever it may be. Eventually, you will choose one of 4 articles to focus your research on. These are the first 2. For the videos, we have this week 8 overview, and we also have the research unit overview. As I said before, that is roughly 10 minutes long. It's not longer than 10 minutes. It's under the 10-minute mark. And it's just essentially an introduction to explain to you why research is one of the things that we do in college and why research writing is an important thing students need to learn how to do in order to progress through college and beyond. The assignments this week, we have grammar quiz number 8, again, dealing with subject-verb agreement. 5 questions. You have multiple opportunities to get the answers correct. So please take advantage of that. Discussion board number 6. Let's take a look at that. This one this week is dealing with writing anxiety. As we move into something a little bit more complex, like the research argument essay number 3, some of you might be starting to panic a little bit. You might have some anxiety because, hey, maybe you've never written a research report before, or the ones that you've written in the past made you break out in a cold sweat, whatever the case may be. I want to know about it. So if you have some problems with writing anxiety, please let us know. Do you worry excessively about writing assignments? Do they make you feel uneasy or agitated? Do you have negative feelings about certain types of writing? I know that some of you do. I know that for some of you, it's been a really long time since you were in school and you're taking this class because you're not quite sure whether or not you're up to snuff for college writing. I assure you, almost all of you are. Some of you may have to work a little bit harder than others, but it does not mean that you are not capable writers. You are all capable writers. So this is your opportunity to open yourself up a little bit. I know that might make you anxious as well, and I apologize for that. But put it out there, say, hey, maybe you're struggling. And if you're one of the lucky ones who doesn't really have issues with writing anxiety, perhaps this could be an opportunity for you to offer some advice for your classmates about how you create a positive writing experience for yourself. The guideline for this post is to write a roughly 150 to 250 words long. If you go over, that's fine. If you're a little bit under, that's okay. I want you to spend a little bit of time addressing the topic here, and I only want you to respond to one classmate by the following Sunday. So that is the discussion board. And on top of that, we have journal number 7. This one is about argument, and this is just your private thoughts. This won't be seen by anybody but me and you. So I want to know a little bit about your experiences with argument. Have you ever written a letter to a politician or a business leader to express your opinion or voice a concern? Have you ever written a response to a blog or tweeted to share your perspective on an issue or controversy? Have you ever written a letter to the editor of a newspaper or magazine or sent an email message in response to an article or editorial? If so, what prompted you to do so? Why did you choose to write in that situation? To what extent do you think your writing made a difference to you or to anyone else who might have read what you wrote? So take a little time thinking about that. And the last is, I call it a worksheet. I don't know why I called it a worksheet, probably because I had plans sometime in the spring when I learned I would be teaching this class to create a worksheet for you to vary the assignments, but it is not a worksheet. What I do want to ask you about, this is taking the two readings that you have been assigned, the two articles that you've been assigned to read this week, How Facebook Makes Us Unhappy and Pursuing Happiness in the Digital World. I want you to choose one of the articles to analyze. They're both roughly the same length, so it doesn't matter. And think about the following questions to write a summary of the main argument of this opinion piece. So some of these questions are, what is the author's argument or main claim? I want you to try to summarize the argument in your own words. It doesn't have to be long, but at least get the general idea out there of what the person is trying to argue in their article. Do you agree or disagree with the author or their position? Does the author use evidence to back up their claim, or are they just stating an opinion? So, evidence would be things like links to other articles or other experts in the field, maybe quoting experts or quoting research or using statistics, data, that kind of thing. If there's evidence, is it biased or is it unbiased? Is it slanted one way to make the readers think a certain way, or is it unbiased, right? Is it free of any kind of ulterior motives? How does the use of evidence or the lack thereof affect the author's credibility? Remember, in the last unit, we talked about the rhetorical appeals, pathos, logos, and ethos. So using evidence, which is logos, how does that affect the author's credibility, their ethos, right? Does the author examine opposing viewpoints? Or are they completely consumed with their own opinion or their own way of looking at the world? Can you think of a quote unquote, yeah, but exception to what the author claims? What is it? So if you could think of an argument against what the person is saying, I want you to write about it. If you're struggling with any of these questions, not a big deal if you don't get to all of them, but try the best as you can. Okay, this is a different way of looking at some of the readings, right? Early in the semester, I had you read something from Malcolm X and who was the other one? Oh, the video from Stanton. And I had you think about those things and answer some questions. So here again, we are taking an opportunity to think about some things that you've read, choosing one article instead of two things, and answering some basic questions. So that essentially, in a nutshell, is the worksheet. And that, I can't remember if I, I should put these instructions in the, oh, good that I noticed that. Why am I doing? Okay, you can enter it as a text entry or upload a file. I'm glad I went in to check on that. And that will be due July 2nd. Really? Wow. Yeah, July 2nd is the end of week 8. I'm amazed at how quickly this semester is going. Back to the module, week 8, the assignments. So that was the worksheet summarizing an argument. Again, if you have any questions about these or you need any kind of clarification, please let me know. Oh, another thing I wanted to put up here. I am going to create and this will be in the reading, I'm going to create a handout for the research essay assignment that will be coming up, I think week 10 is when that will be due for the rough draft. I will create a handout for you to read through so that you actually understand. And there is a video explaining that assignment so that you know what you're coming up against, and you can hopefully plan your time for the future, because this will be a little bit more time intensive. It's a little bit more reading than you're used to, and certainly a bit more writing than you're used to. So be on the lookout for that. I will add that. I apologize for not having that up while I'm recording this, but there you go. So I will have that posted to you. That will be another thing that you'll be able to refer to. It's not a huge in-depth reading assignment, but I will post it here under read. So if you have any questions or concerns, you know how to get in touch with me. And yeah, good luck. The summarizing the argument, I hope you enjoy this as much as I've enjoyed working with students on this unit in the past. I think thinking about the question, does technology make us happy, makes it a bit relevant, because we're all involved with technology, especially as distance learners, right? So obviously we're concerned about technology, making sure that it works correctly, making sure that we don't get confused by these things that are delivered to us remotely, and everything that goes with it. So good luck. Have a great, I guess I'll save that for next week. I was going to say have a great 4th of July, but hopefully you'll be tuning in before the 4th of July for week 9. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.